Welcome to Cooking with Katerina. Today we're going to make this delicious chicken and pasta recipe. And we're going to include this beautiful escarole that we got from Red Basket Farm. I call this dish kicked up chicken and greens. So let's get started. I'm going to give you a list of the ingredients you're going to need to make this delicious kicked up chicken and greens. But I'm going to give it to you in two parts. One, we're going to start with the greens. And here I have 3 bunches of wide leaf escarole. You're also going to need 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 cloves of minced garlic, and 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You'll also need 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes cut up, 1/2 cup of mild pepper rings. You'll need 1 chicken breast cut up into chunks. Now, if you've watched my video on the grilled chicken breast with the easy marinade, and you have one of the chicken breasts left over, you can use that. If you don't, just take a chicken breast, cut it up into chunks and saute it, and you can use that. You'll also need 1/2 cup of grated cheese and 1 pound of penne pasta, which we're going to cook as directed on the box. But first, we're going to get started on making the greens and preparing them. I told you that I have 3 bunches of escarole that I'm going to prepare. Now, we probably won't need the whole 3 bunches, but as I said, the first part of this is showing you how to make the greens and putting the garlic and salt and pepper and oil all together. So we can take some of those out and save them as a side dish, but first we're going to prepare these. What I'm going to do is cut off the end, and then I'm just going to cut some big pieces here, as you can see. And I already have my sink filled with cold water, and I'm going to throw them in there just to rinse them off and make sure there's no dirt. Now these are beautiful. There is no dirt on them at all, but I'm just going to rinse them anyhow. Then I put my water on to boil so we can cook the escarole for about 3 minutes in the water, and then we'll drain it. But we'll be back once I've cut up all my escarole and I'm ready to put it in a pot. Our water is boiling, and I know this looks like a lot of greens, but it does cook down. So we're going to start putting our greens in our water and let it cook up for about 2-3 minutes. And this is very tender, so I know it's not going to take very long to cook up, or kind of blanched, as you might say. And then we'll drain it and get ready to put the rest of our other ingredients in our greens. I let my greens cook for about 5 minutes, and the reason I did that was I wanted to make sure that the lighter part, which is usually the harder part, was cooked enough. Now, because there's more water in the greens, what we're going to do is start with our oil in our pan before we turn on the stove. So we'll put in our oil, and then we'll add our greens. This way it won't start splashing up at us as far as when it's cooking. So now we'll add our greens, and then we'll turn on the stove. And as you can see, the greens have cooked down quite a bit. So we'll just put those in here. And then we will turn on our stove. Get it all out there because this is goodness. All right. Now we'll turn on our stove to about medium to medium high. And we'll mix our greens and the oil together. And the next thing we're going to add is our garlic and our salt. So now that that oil is throughout the greens, we will add our salt and give it a little mix. And then we'll put in the garlic. And mix again. Now this is going to start smelling really good. As you can see, look at that. And now we're going to add our pepper flakes. Now you can add less pepper flakes if you'd like. Depends on how hot you like it. But I used a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes in this. And what we'll do now is we're going to cover it up and let it cook for about 10 minutes so that everything blends together well. And actually, this is all you need to do to make your greens. So we'll cover it up, let it cook for 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to put my pasta water on to boil so we can get our pasta ready, and then we'll add our other ingredients to the greens once we have our we've cooked our greens for 10 minutes. Okay, I'll see you then. Our pasta is almost ready here. We're cooking it al dente, and our greens have just finished up cooking for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to add in our sun-dried tomatoes and our mild pepper rings. Look how colorful this is. Mix that up a little. And I didn't take any of the greens out. We like greens, a lot of greens, so I just kept all of them in here. But if you like less greens, you can take some out, and again, you can use them as a side dish. And we're going to add in our chicken breast. Now, I did use one chicken breast that I grilled from my recipe. And what we're going to do is let this heat up. So by the time the pasta is done and drained, we'll be ready to put the pasta in this, and the chicken will be warm. I've plated this delicious kicked up chicken and greens. And I've added some extra cheese for all you cheese lovers. Now it's time to taste test. Oh. I love those greens in this pasta. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you'll get notified of my latest videos that are coming out. And there'll also be some other videos popping up on the screen that you can check out. And if you would like and share with your family and friends, I'd greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, enjoy and keep on cooking.